I'm here with Iain and Marc of Caliban to talk about their upcoming new record, Back from Hell, out April 25th on Century Media Records. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat about the album today. How are you guys doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's
We
start
talked
with
about
this.
you already, so I'm not asking again.
Yeah, let's not get into that story.
Yeah.
So let's start from this. Back from Hell. How was Hell and why are you guys back from it?
Oh, uh,
Hell is a shitty place, and
yeah. Um, Maybe I start because Ian joined a little later. Um, we have been going through some not good times with the band, like lately. I mean, obviously, like many bands, the Big C, we had a break before, and then the break got extended because of the pandemic, and then other stuff, and maybe bad choices, and many things went wrong in the band. We were not happy with the latest album. At least that's me. Like creativity wise, not happy with it, and we thought it's time for a change, and we went through like a dark times, and we thought even about like not continuing because there was maybe a lot of things not cool, you know on certain levels. And then actually we pulled ourselves together and said, no, that's not how we are. So we're gonna come back and we do it better than ever somehow. And this is why the album came out probably very straightforward, very aggressive, and more heavy than the previous ones, and somehow mixing back to the roots with some modern influences, but more like the the mouth foundation, what we are known for, you know. And we said, now we do it right. So here we are.
here we are.
Wow, it sounds like it was hell, but everything that you sing about the record is really interesting because when I was listening to the album and preparing my notes for my review, I feel like this is a way more concise record, more to the point, with better ideas in terms of where you guys want to go with the record, where you guys want to go with the songs, and where you guys want to go with the sound. So it feels like a more focused record. So was that the approach? You guys had that idea, and then you went into the studio, went into the pre-production with exactly a clear idea of this is what we're gonna do.
It kind of developed, didn't it? I mean, we
Yeah.
kind of m- to give a broad overview. Like Mark had, at the point where I joined the band, had already had sketched out a pretty good idea of uh, a riff world. What's the guitar world going to be doing? Started, attempting at mixing things and trying to find out where we're going with this. And then when we entered the studio to start with, lyrics and vocals and putting the whole thing together, literally we sat down, me and Andy, we sat down and had serious conversations until late into the night about, hey, how are we doing? What are we actually wanting to sing about here? What are we? And then the first sort of review of the situation was like, okay, this is not going to be very comfortable because I came from dark places beforehand previously. I had stuff going on in the family. Andy had a lot to resonate with about a lot of interpersonal topics and stuff like that, and it all found its way onto this album very directly. It's very unfiltered and very honest, uncomfortably honest, partially, but just needed to be said and done in the way it is, and there's no messing around on this album. It's just straight to the point, man. Yeah, so the result is good, but the content is very heavy stuff, and it's been printed on this album. It's called Back from Hell. That's what it's about. It's the real deal.
One of the things I notice in terms of the design of the album, two things that I really like about how you guys put the track listing and the record together. On one hand, I like the fact that you guys put all the singles up top. I mean, or you guys decided to release the songs that were up top as singles, whatever came first, as the chicken or the egg. But that for me was really cool because I heard the single, so getting into the record, it allowed me to ease myself into the album, knowing what I'm getting myself into, and then discover as a surprise, the back end of the record. And on the other side, I felt like you guys built the album like a set list. It really felt like I was listening to a set list at a show because it has an intro, and then from that point on is ebbs and flows, ups and downs with the right breaks at the right time for you to kind of gather your breath, and then back again with the onslaught of heaviness and destruction. Did you guys think about that at all when you were putting this track listing together, considering the material that you had available to you?
Yeah, that is for me actually part of the art somehow, the creativity to have the listener to take the listener to on a ride, like the the emotions, the yeah, the that is the feelings is like a roller coaster somehow, you don't put like eight in your face tracks first and then you have like three soft songs to kick you off the album or something. It has to be like a flow somehow, keep it interesting, and from like to put the songs without melodic vocals on a certain spot, it is for me usually very time consuming, at least on when I think about it, to where they have to be, what could be next, because this song ends with a bang, and then the next song should be maybe ease into a bit, like, yeah, like it's to take the listener on a ride is for me part of the art somehow, the creativity.
You guys definitely achieved that. You guys have a lot of contributions on this record, a lot of collaborations. How was that? How did that come to be? Did you guys make those songs thinking, "Hey, it would be really cool to get Joe Bad on a track," or did things develop differently?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to understand that every single one of these vocalists brings extra spice of heavy. And on this whole mission of going parts like ridiculously heavy with stuff, it was like, oh, can we not get like Joe Bad? And then I think Mark, you've had contact over the years with Joe Bad and Fit for an Autopsy, and it just felt really natural. And he did bring the ultra extra heaviness. It's brutal. Like I really enjoy listening to it.
Yeah,
And
you guys got the Mental Cruelty as well, another German band, that up and coming German band, like really like some super cool collabs that I feel like added so much quality to the way the record came.
yeah, that's Mark. You should tell the story. With mental cruelty, how that happened.
Because the song Guilt Trip I was producing with the guitar player from Mental Cruelty, because we didn't stick with one co-producer or one producer for all the songs. We had like each song or each two songs, a different person. And I was working on a couple tracks with the guitar player from Mental Cruelty. And this is his influence also brought the song a bit into a certain direction, like um I just came up with the chorus, and then because I wanted a kind of like theatrical kind of chorus, and I had a little bit of an idea what I want where I want to go, and then he had some ideas, and then it somehow was naturally like this could be a song for guest vocals, and then it's like since he brought his like ideas into this, it's more like it's even like a more like a mental cruelty feature than just a Lucas feature somehow. Just Lucas was doing the voice
Mhm.
of this, and it fit really well because yeah, because it has like some spices from mental cruelty anyways, because of the collaboration with him, like with the guitar player Nahul. And yeah, and then the way it was recorded was also funny. They were on tour with Cradle of Filth in Germany, and we had kind of like a tight schedule. And then I just packed our vocal producer. He packed like some mobile gear. We went there, and he recorded it in a van, actually, because the backstage was too busy. It was loud, and then we just went out to the van, and he recorded it there, just with a basic setting. And yeah, it turned out great.
Yeah, they're a great band. I've seen them in Toronto on two different tours now, and they absolutely are killing it. Great energy live, great band, great bunch of guys. I really dig those guys. They're super nice guys. That's a funny thing you mentioned there, having different producers working with different people on different tracks. Because when I was listening to the sound on the album, the sound is still very cohesive from start to finish. It doesn't give that impression that you work with different people, but there's different influences. There's some songs that are a little bit more deathcore, then there's
Yeah.
some songs that are more your prototypical metalcore track, then some more modern metalcore with more melancholy, more melody. The album
Yeah.
has a lot of different ideas, all of them heavy, but all of them with different faces. Did that come from who you worked with?
Yeah, yeah. I would say at least part of that came from that. That it sounds like one record is because in the very end I recorded and mixed the album. I mean, instrumental wise, like vocals were also all done by one guy, the recording part, but the producing part of it, like where the spices got added from different people, was during the writing process. During the demo stages and stuff like that. So that is definitely, I always had like or we always had like a basic song idea, and then we took it to some guys like, hey, where would you take this idea to? And their ideas were bringing it either to this or this direction a little bit, so it still sounds like Caliban because the song ideas were from me or us, so some from Iain also, and then they were brought into some directions from the other guys. Buster was working with me on 3 songs. Then now the now for mental cruelty was like 3 or even 4 tracks, and yeah, that's how it all came together. That there has, like, I think the deathcore part is probably from Nahul, the songs, which you think probably they're more on the deathcore side. And yeah, I think it was a pretty good move to have like a lot of variation in the songs, a lot, and but still sounding like us. I think in the band we were a bit worried that because we have different influences, that it sounds maybe all over the place, but in the end it sounds very like just one album somehow, just with different vibes a little bit in the songs, but still matches completely our band.
I really like it. I really like it. I think this is the best record you guys have released in the last 5, 6 years. Definitely surpasses the last two albums by a long shot.
Thank you.
It feels better together, and it feels like it has more of a sense of purpose. Like you're not lost in the middle of the album. You know exactly where this record is taking you. And considering the quality of songs that you guys have from top to bottom, was it difficult picking singles to showcase the album?
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite song is not a single yet.
My favorite song is not a single.
Yours also.
Yeah, mine is Insomnia.
Mine is Overdrive.
Yay! Yay! Oh, that album, man, that album is so funny. Like we it took a really long time to write. But as soon
Yeah.
as we started putting everything together in the studio, it was just one song after the other, and we were like, "Oh, we got some good cooking here. This is fun." And it turned out to be really difficult decision which singles to do because honestly, every single song got the attention a song deserves. Every single song is within itself a thing. We could have released Insomnia, we could have done, Infection, we could have done so many different songs that would have probably made sense as well. I think we did make the right decision. Um, for that matter, we didn't actually realize that we were giving away like half the track titles, and then the whole second half would
Yeah,
be
yeah, but
not.
it works really well. It works really well.
Yeah, yeah. So, we've got another one coming before, or another focus track on release day. So, I guess as soon as the baby is ready to see the world, people will have to make their own decisions what the single should have been.
Mark, which song was your favorite? Which one did you say?
Overdrive.
Over. That's my second favorite of the record. That's not a single. That's not a single. Because
No.
some of the singles are a killer. And it's funny because I was listening, so you get the first three tracks outside of the intro, it's like singles, then you get Insomnia, and then you get another single, and I'm like, wow, how did they skip this one? This one is so fucking good. Like that song absolutely hit me really hard. The lyrics, the vocals, the sound, everything on that track. Can you guys shed a little bit of light on how was making that specific song? Because that one has a completely different vibe from the rest of the album.
You know what? First of all, like from my side, lyrically, we came into the studio through, from pretty dark places. And one of the things we were speaking about is literally we haven't slept in months. Like and explored how crazy it actually is and how paralyzing it is to not be able to sleep properly and what happens when, what it feels like. So we talked about that a lot and started like putting a song together about it. And that instrumental material that was there at the time was just so fitting to because of these lovely verses, and it was all really moody and dark, and it just gave us a great space to lay out all these vocals on and tell our story.
Oh, it's a phenomenal track. Like from the sound, the melancholy of the sound, then the lyrics, and then how the vocals represent those lyrics. That chorus is just killer. Like it's just like absolutely killer. I love that track. I really do. But I agree, it would be very difficult to pick singles when you have so many great quality songs. Like which ones are you going to put out there to represent the record? How is the dynamic between you guys in the studio? You mentioned that, everybody came from dark places. Everybody brings their own baggage, if you will. But when it comes down to the studio, do you guys enjoy that aspect of making a record, being in the studio together?
That is actually one of my favorite parts to be in a band to create, you know. And funny that you mentioned that song Insomnia because that I think is the one which took the longest and also took the most turns. Like it was, if you hear the demo version about through the verses version 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 or whatever it was, like it is very, very different from the very beginning. And that developed from Iain and me because I came up with an idea, then he changed it because he didn't think my idea was the best option. Then I didn't like his best option. And then we had to negotiate and find a way. And I think this is how this song somehow melted slowly together. Um the chorus is very different, but in a way similar. It's like funny how this song came together. It took so many turns and it's and and I think even though I was in the beginning like that my version was the best, and Iain was probably thinking his version is the best, that we both can agree now that the version we made afterwards from it, both letting go a little bit from our point of view, is I think the best version of the song actually.
Yeah, I think that goes to say for the entire album. And the whole sense of collaboration was very compromised. Not compromised. It was we compromised a lot. Not to say like in a bad way, meaning we had to give away too many ideas, but we kind of found a middle ground each time, and were able to work on things in a way to really satisfy our visions and our imagination and our dreams of what these songs could be, and bring out the absolute maximum, without it being about egos, more about like the greater good of being able to get the songs to the absolute best condition they could possibly be.
So he actually could bring it down to very simple said that he and I are both pain in the asses was a good thing for the album.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
at the end of the day, the end result is what matters. It's not how you get there, it's getting there. So you guys got there. So that's the important thing. And I'm sure now you look back at this record, you listen to this record, and you're like, man, all the dark shit that we went through, all the negativity, all those thoughts of maybe even not continuing. Man, I'm glad we did the right thing, and I'm glad we're here today, and we're gonna release this album April 25th. I'm sure you guys have that sense of pride in what you guys have accomplished.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
proud.
very, very happy about the album. Like I said, I wasn't happy with some previous works, and for me this is the best album since I Am Nemesis, because that was another like milestone during the band career, same as Shadow Hearts. So these are actually my top three albums: Shadow Hearts, I Am Nemesis, and Back from Hell, because they are somehow essentially we were sitting down, focusing more, and forgetting, getting not getting lost in the writing process or something, more focused and try to reinvent ourselves. So this is like a very, very I'm very, very happy about this album.
I'm happy you guys decided to make it because I feel like the band is such a huge state. Like, by the way, Germany has one of the best metal scenes around. Like so many good deathcore bands, so many good metalcore bands, so many good heavy metal bands, so many good power metal bands. I don't know exactly what's in the water there, but you guys have such a vibrant metal scene, and you guys are such a huge part of it. Uh, how do you look around and how do you adjust to that? Like, what do you feel makes Germany such a hotbed for so many good metal bands?
Oh, I don't
That's a difficult question.
Maybe it's the
that
water. I'm telling
it
you.
maybe
I
especially actually especially our area, like the area I live at least. I live in Essen. And there's so many bands from this area which are also successful now, like there's Creator, obviously, like thrash legends, also from Essen. Also Miller, close friend. Then Any Given Day, the band, if you know
Yeah,
them, they
I
just
know
live
them.
around the corner too, like 10 minutes from my house maybe. Then Ghost Kid live here, is also
Sushi
20
lives
minutes.
around there?
Yeah,
yeah.
25 minutes.
What? Holy
I'm
shit.
gonna move soon. Then he's pretty much direct neighbor almost. Um, and Nasty
Oh,
is from Electric
Electric
Callboy is from here.
Callboy.
We are
Wow.
all in a distance of half an hour here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's what I'm saying, man. I think it's either in the water or something. I don't know what you guys are doing there, but whatever it is, keep doing it. One last question for you guys. So the album drops April 25th on Century Media Records. What are the plans that you guys have for the rest of the year? Are you guys planning on touring, festivals? What's in the books for you guys?
Well, we got a few festivals going after the summer. We focused on the headline tour this year rather than going to do the festival run because it was just time, to spend time with your fans and stuff. Unfortunately, the routing kind of disables you from doing the European festival runs because you're too close timing wise. It doesn't quite work out.
Yeah.
I'm personally already thinking about the next album and thinking, oh, this because it's inspired me to do more, because I'm new in all this. I'm full of excitement and full of ideas, and um I could just listen to Back from Hell and then decide to make another Back from Hell. It's nuts. It's very inspiring times. So we'll definitely be back writing. Um, and I guess we'll be playing more shows soon and announcing more shows.
Yeah. I mean, like Ian just said, I mean, some of the shows are very close to festivals. For example, we play in Leipzig in May, I think. And then in June there's a festival in May in Leipzig, so they say, hey, come on guys, you play here 3 weeks before, it's not the best timing. So we focus more on the headline tour rather than festivals, and I think festivals we play more next year. And also we want to try next year to come back to the States. At least that's some goal we want to achieve very soon with this album, that we come back to the States if it's going to be possible somehow. But yeah, we
Let's
focus
say
on headline tour first.
continental America, to not exclude people from
Yeah,
Canada and
yeah,
Mexico.
yeah, yeah. Because like right now, there's a beef happening here. I don't know if you guys are aware of that in the news.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
everybody's very sensitive about the kind of the stuff. But I get it. When most people say America or whatever, they mean Canada and the US. I think it would be amazing to see you guys tour here. I would love to see it. It's not every day that bands from that part of the world come here, specifically within this sound. Like I said, I saw the guys from Mental Cruelty in two different tours in the last 2 years they were in town. Love hanging out with those guys. I would love to see you guys play here because this album deserves to be played in front of as many people as possible because
Thank
I
you.
think everybody's gonna love it as much as I do. I was so blown away by this record compared to at least compared to the last two albums. Not that they were not good, but this one surpasses it by like a mile. So
Thank you.
congratulations. I didn't know about all the difficulties you guys had gone through. Knowing that now makes this album sound even better.
Thanks. Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
It's
We
what
try
it
definitely
is.
come over there.
I'm glad you guys feel inspired. So do your thing. Marc, Iain, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
seeing you guys. It's a pleasure talking to you guys. Wishing you nothing but the best with the release on April 25th. I know this album is going to open so many doors for you. And I'll be here in Canada waiting for you guys to drop by at some point in 2026.
I'm
Hopefully.
sure we will, eh?
Thank you.
Let's make it happen. See you guys.
Have a good evening.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.